How you doing, trappers? Ed Schneider with Kansas Trapline Products. Hey, got a good video for you. It's nice and short. It's a little bit of a product description to talk about the benefits of using a digging reaction call lure on the trap line. Now, I have 4 of them that will create a digging reaction, and I want to explain to you how I use these lures further into the video. But I'll at least go ahead real quick and mention Moonshot and Death Scent are both a red fox gland based call lure. Certainly Death Scent has been doing very well out in Pennsylvania. A lot of guys call me up and specifically ask that one by name. That is without a doubt a wonderful call lure, and it creates a digging reaction. Now, digging reactions is very simple in regards to it has a commitment reaction. That's what we're after, a commitment. Hey, come here, work this a little bit harder. Hey, come and dig this. You can come and get this if you dig it out. In the meantime, we're going to catch that coyote on the way to the trap. Now, from the coyote perspective, the Moonshot and Death Scent work very, very well. Certainly the fox glands adds a lot of curiosity to the larger canine species. That being said, my Oklahoma Suicide Sauce is my #1 selling lure, and Alpine Call was the very first lure I ever made, but in my book it still tops in my book. I love both of these lures. They are coyote gland based. These are 2 wonderful lures that also create a digging reaction. That's why I brought you along here. Let's take a look at the video here, and I'll show you exactly how I recommend using these products. So when I'm using a digging lure, this would be what I would call a standard dirt hole set. However you make your dirt hole sets in there. What I'll do to get that digging reaction, I use a pastry knife that you can pick up at any type of go in your cooking aisle where the cake mixes are, and you want to use about a ½ teaspoon. And what I do is I just smear mine low as the last thing I do at my dirt hole set. That's the last thing I do. I've already got bait in the hole. I've already got I've gotten everything accomplished. My trap is going to be right here. This is where the trap sits, right here. But then I have bait in the hole. I put my wool or my grass or whatever. But to get a coyote to come over the top of my trap, I need that lure from a digging lure's perspective. I can get him. It's a commitment. I can get that coyote to want to come in, and he's going to want to find that scent. He's going to want to get to it. Now, you want the wind to come across your set, mind you. You can't put this set in and have the odors go this way, because he is going to dig on this side. If that's the case, a digging lure, the downside is when the wind switches and the wind's coming the other way, of course he's going to follow his nose, and that applies to every lure out there. But he'll just want to dig down there. To get that digging reaction, we want to use a quantity like this, is about a ½ teaspoon full of it. Now, we could go in here and I could take my lure here, take it on a stick. Now, what I have here is I don't have a quantity of a digging. I don't think I can get them to really dig on it. But I do. You could put it on the back. That's one way of doing it, and it gets the odor out there, and that, or coming across your trap and stuff. But it don't necessarily give you the digging response due to the lower volume. In my experience, you want to go ahead and use this approach for a digging lure a little more often. Now, if this is a high bank back here, and say it's a high bank and we're doing a big hole set, and I have this big bank over here and there's only one way in, well, I got no problem smearing that on the back side of my dirt hole and get that quantity up, that's fine. I can do that. I can put that up high, providing it's a one-way in and no chances of the coyote working it from the backside. But a digging lure, I generally put it low, right in front of the dirt hole, in front of my trap. That's that one. So what if I'm doing a mouse hole set? Let's look at that example. Okay guys, I have like a normal trap bed. There's no trap here, but I have like a normal trap bed. I have it sifted. It's looking pretty good, and it doesn't make any difference which way the set's going. The point is, we're talking about that digging lure, but what would you do if you're going to go with mouse hole type of a scenario? Some guys will do it with a double mouse hole. You could do 2, or you could do 1 on each side of the trap. That's fine. And how would you go about that? Well, let me at least say this. Going back to my digging lure, if I really want to get that digging reaction and have it come out of the ground, I want to use that 1/2 teaspoon amount in that hole. That's really what I want to do. And I know I got a little bit left on there. You probably come up with a little different system for that, but that's how I would approach that right there, is go ahead and of course I'll clean that off. But you want to get that 1/2 teaspoon down in the hole, and on top of it, a digging lure has the ability to rise up, come out of that hole. That's why this is a good lure to go low, because it can rise. Not all lures can do that, and there's nothing wrong with that. But these lures are designed to rise up and to create a demand to do that. Now then, going back to our stick. Now, if you're looking for curiosity, or you want to make it easy on yourself, or something like that, you could do something like this and just poke that in there. That's what I've done for years. You just have or both sides. The thing that you get into when you're dealing with a stick where it doesn't quite get the amount of lure on it, some guys will actually, you'll see them, they'll kind of pour their lure into their mouse hole and things like that. That gets the desired amount to create that digging reaction, because that digging reaction is a commitment reaction. That's what we're doing. Having a digging lure actually creates a nice digging reaction. We don't want them to dig our trap out. That ain't the point. The point is it's a commitment. That coyote will take that next step to get him to come on in and go for that lure. And that's a big deal, especially talking dirt hole sets, because dirt hole sets, we're not asking the coyote, we're not putting the trap underneath where the coyote's walking. With dirt hole sets, we're generally putting that trap in an area that we can guide the coyote in, maybe step off of the road so traffic can go by. There's a lot of reasons of using dirt hole sets, or maybe I don't even know where the coyote's going, such as an alfalfa field or a brome grass field, natural prairie. All those kind of things, you don't have sign, but you need them to commit. This would be a great lure also for your, that digging reaction is also very good for your pipe dream type of a set. And again, remember the direction they're coming, and it's always going to be from the downwind into their set. That's what a digging reaction type of a lure is the benefit of. It's more than just, hey, this smells good, I'm going to come look for it. A good digging reaction lure can climb out of that hole. It can grab their attention. It can create a commitment by the fox or coyote when they come into your set. That's why these types of lures are so valuable on the trap line. Not every lure does this type of a function. This is something but it does work if you pick out the right lure. It's just like grabbing the proper wrench for the right bolt and nut. If you got a 3/8 inch bolt, you don't go in it with a 1 1/4 wrench. It wouldn't work that right. It's not the right tool. So to have your proper digging reaction, make sure you use that about 1/2 teaspoon lima bean amount to get the reaction. Put the placement where you want to. If we come back over here and I just take this and I set it over here and the wind's coming across, I'm not saying we won't get him to step here, but the point is we got to be careful where we set. The wind's coming this way, but he, you know, he can miss this very well. By having it in the mouse hole, you're asking the coyote to spend a little more time to come around as he comes into your set and he gets caught. That's the advantage of a digging dirt hole, a digging lure. I hope tips like this help you on your trap line. It certainly did help me when I learned some of these little nuances about trapping, and I hope you consider going ahead, hit that sub button, and go ahead and hit that like button. And until we meet again, tight chains, trappers.